Hey everyone, my name is Vanessa and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I make my raspberry leaf tea for the end of my pregnancy. So I've been making it since I was 33 weeks pregnant. I know you can start it as a 32, but I just didn't have the stuff yet. So started it at 33 weeks. I've now done, I think, like 5 batches of it. I think this will be my 6th one. So yeah, I've been making it regularly, so I'll show you what I do here. A little backstory on myself. This is my 2nd pregnancy. So I already have a little 16-month-old and another one on the way. 39 weeks tomorrow. Crazy. So this might be the last batch I'm making. We'll see. Last pregnancy, the day that I got induced, I had actually gone to the store and bought another pack of tea because now this will be the last that I have. So we'll see if that ends up being the case again or not. I had to return it, or I got my mom to return it later, but anyway, so we'll see what happens, but let's get into it and I'll show you how I make it. Alright, so I have everything that I need here. Let me start off by starting the kettle. I set it to 100 degrees and let it do its thing. I found this jar off of Amazon. This thing has been amazing. So it holds 2 liters, so it lasts me a little while. I'll be honest and say I'm not a big tea drinker by any means, which is why the version of this I'm going to be making is in bulk, and I'm going to keep it in the fridge. And then I'll show you how I normally mix it all together so that I can actually stand drinking it every day. But this jar has been amazing because I'm able to pour boiling hot water into it and it is not shattered. So I've done it 5 times already. It says that it stands temperatures up to 300 degrees, so that's amazing. Yeah, so I'll link this below because this has definitely been great to have. Last time I was pregnant and I was making the tea, I had a glass pitcher, so I was just making it in that because I didn't see what would be the issue there. And then one day I poured the water in and it shattered. So you can imagine how traumatizing that was to have boiling hot water and broken glass, which I hate broken glass, all over the counter and floors. It was a disaster. So I've been skeptical every time I make it. It brings me back to that time. But no, this one has been great. I've been a lot less worried about it. So let's give a second for the water to boil. In the meantime, this is the tea that I have been using. So because I'm doing, or I guess I'll talk about proportions for a second. So since I have a 2 liter, that is 8.5 cups of water. And so they say to drink, a cup of tea and then up it later in your pregnancy. So I don't want to drink 3 cups a day or anything like that because, again, I'm not a big tea drinker. So when I was first making this, I would do 8 to 9 tea bags for the 2 liters because it's 8.5. Now that it's later in my pregnancy, I've doubled it. I'm sure I could probably triple it, but this is just how I like to do it. So I'll show you a little close-up. This is the tea that I get. I just get it from Walmart. I've seen it at lots of different grocery stores and whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead and open these all up and get them ready. All right, so let's get these open. I like to line them all up like this so that it's easy to grab them and put them in the jar after. So I normally grab my tea bags and like swing them like this so that they stay all close together. I don't know if that's weird, but it's just what I like to do. So I'm just gonna do that with each one so that they're all, kind of just bunched together since I have so many. All right, so let's go ahead and fill this up. So I have 1.5 liters of water and I need still another 1/2 liter. So I will boil some more water in a second here. Okay, be right back. Let me fill this up again. I like to put some honey in my tea, make it a little sweeter. I have found that if I put the honey in once the tea bags are already in, it just kind of falls all over the tea bags. So I've learned now to do it before because or else the tea bags just kind of take over the whole top. Honestly, I don't measure it. I just eyeball it. I put honey in my tea normally, so why not put it in here too? So I'm just gonna give it kind of like a big squirt and leave it at that. And put the tea bags in here. Oh, don't you go falling in on me. There we go. All right, got those in. I'm gonna wait for my water to boil again so I can top it off. And I'll be right back. Okay, the water's ready, so let's top up the pitcher now. Going to fill this up as much as I can without it overflowing. Okay, that should be good. All right, so now that my pitcher is full, my tea bags are in, honey is in, I normally let this sit for an hour. So I'm just gonna let it steep, do its thing, and then I will take the tea bags out from there. Once the tea bags are out, I then leave it out maybe maybe a couple hours. I don't know how long I normally leave it out. It depends what I'm doing in the day, if I'm home or not. But I try and leave it out to cool off as much as possible, and then I put it in the fridge from there. So yeah, I'm just gonna let it steep now, do its thing, and go from there. I was trying to remember when I started like doubling the tea bags, like to have it, you know, 2 tea bags per cup of tea kind of a thing. So I don't know if it was around 37, 38 weeks. And honestly, just because I kind of forgot that you're supposed to up the tea later on. Or maybe I purposely forgot because I don't want more tea. All right, let's let it do its thing and we can touch base again in a little bit. All right, so the tea has been sitting here for an hour. So I'm gonna take the tea bags out. Throughout it, I was kind of, you know, shaking them a little bit. As you can tell, it's a lot darker in color, so I think we're good to go ahead. I like to use a spoon to try and like get some of the water out, but I don't stress too much about it. And that's another reason why I like to bunch them all together. I feel like it just makes it so much easier to take the tea out when they're all, you know, together like this. Okay, I'm now going to leave this out on the counter until it's like cooled off, because when I touch it, it's still pretty hot. So might give it a couple hours. It depends if I'm staying home or if I have to go out anywhere, but gonna leave it out until it cools off, and then I'll put it in the fridge after that. And next I can show you how I like to actually make the tea once this is cooled off. So yeah, I'll touch base tonight once I've had it cool off for the whole day. Hey guys, so it's much later in the day. I had the tea sit out for a few hours. I've had it in the fridge, and now I'm gonna make my drink for the day. I normally have it in the evening. So here we go. I like to put in this little cup. I fill it half up with ice. When I was first doing this, I was measuring an actual like cup of liquid to see, you know, about where it would go. And now I've done it enough times, I just eyeball it. So I'm gonna fill it up with the tea. And there's a few different ways that I like to do it, but I mainly add cranberry juice and orange juice. Sometimes I also add some 7-Up to it, just to help break it down. So I'm gonna do that for tonight. Add some cranberry juice. Orange juice. And there we go, give it a little stir. And so this is how I manage to drink my tea every day. Let's have a little sip. Yeah, not the best, not the worst. Doable like this. So I hope this video was helpful to you. If you're pregnant and making the tea yourself, then good luck.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. My little 16-month-old also wishes you good luck. So stay tuned for some more pregnancy and baby related videos, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!